We are Legion.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Tuesday, so it is 50% of New Comic Book Day for a lot of people out there, and it's also my favorite day of the week because DC just dropped the finale to Future State today, for the most part, like one exception. But we're going to break that down and talk about some of that. But before we do that, go ahead and check this out real quick. So as always, everybody, thanks for dropping in. Be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm right under the 500 subscriber mark, so a giveaway is coming. I'm trying to make it as good as I possibly can. I've been amassing little things here and there, and I'll be making the announcement and showing off all those cool prizes as my way of saying thank you to everybody who supports the channel, and you don't want to miss out on that. So if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because you do not want to miss the giveaway. There's always bonus prizes for people who are able to make the live giveaway and all that good stuff. Blah, blah, blah. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real good.
Feel so scripted at this point.
Nah.
Going with the 400.
You're at what, 485, right? 485 subs?
Yeah, I woke up yesterday. I hit 485 yesterday, and then I lost one or two. Hey, buddy.
Wow.
And, yeah. You hungry? Owie? You want something to eat? I got your chicken nuggets right here. Here you go.
If you don't want them,
you can go sit down. You go take them down. You got it, buddy? Well, go sit down. Ava's outside barking. He just woke up. He's so concerned. He has to check in on the house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I woke up with like 480 something, hit 485, lost a couple. Don't know if it was to the algorithm or whatever it is, but all the same, we're back at 485. And we have 8 people watching. I want to say hey to the chat real quick.
Yeah.
We have Rami Salami. What's going on, brother? Free Key Louie. No, we could not be more Legion. It's not even possible. Tyler, what's going on, buddy? You got Lucretius all the way in New Mexico. You guys are climbing fast. I've noticed y'all just celebrated that 420 subscribers. That was a that was a funny video. And they had DJ Links on celebrating 420 subscribers. And yesterday they pulled a clip out of that long hangout and posted it up where they were all rolling and smoking comic books to celebrate 420 subscribers. It was epic.
What's up?
DJ Link lit his comic with a dumpster fire slab that was at a 5.5. Mike Knight, how are you doing, brother? Bumblebee tuna to you as well. That's hilarious.
Bumblebee tuna.
Yeah, Ace Ventura. That was one of my mainstays growing up. So how do you feel about the books releasing today and knowing that this is really the last hoorah for this Future State initiative that DC did?
I mean, I knew that it was approaching. I didn't realize until today that this is kind of technically the last week, even though pretty obvious since they're releasing Generations Forged. But all in all, I'm okay with it ending because it feels like it was enough of a success that they're going to roll a lot of this over. Even if it's not like immediately in March, I think we're still going to see some of these characters return or come back slightly modified, in another 2 or 3 months as they, get to a point where they're actually writing stuff that's come from the success rather than pre-planning,
Yeah. Now, you can see if you check out the solicitations that some of these characters are bleeding over immediately, some down the road. In the Infinite Frontier issue 0 that comes out next week, which is really the introduction to where all the stories are starting off at, like it's going to have Yara discovering her Wonder Womanhood, her connection to the Amazonian,
Yeah.
her pantheon of gods and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see who they keep around. Obviously, Red X is going to be bled over. Jace, the next Batman, will be bled over. But there's some cool stuff coming. And I know that Superman versus Imperious Lex issue 2 came out today, but issue 3 is still slated for its next month release. So that one
Oh, there's
is
an issue 3 on that one?
yeah.
Awesome.
Looking and I saw that there's a issue 3 that comes out later. I don't know if that. Now that I think about it, I feel like this was the cover I saw, but there was an issue of Future State Imperious Lex that didn't make the cutoff before everything else ended. But with how that they're structuring the DC universe now, the way that they're handling continuity, this is something that you could run at the same time as your ongoing titles, with everything being canon. Everything now has a place, and it's just on a different universe where everything played out the same, but it got there sooner on that universe. Like this is their future.
Thanks, Comic Burrito. Yeah, I mean, I love the way that they structured this because it gives them the freedom to do, like any kind of story with any character they want and be as connected or unconnected as they want and stuff. I hope this becomes the standard of the future, for DC Comics, where we get a lot more like broken continuity. Like, I think that's a huge element of success that goes into a lot of their Black Label stuff, and I think they're seeing that as like, when we're not connected to continuity and we can do literally anything, we can do more fan service and we can do more serious stories and we can do more dark takes and we can do more optimistic takes, and it just really opens the pantheon.
It really does. It's kind of free. It's so true. It's so true. Like, I don't know if they were going to take him serious or think he was joking, but yeah, how that happened. Yeah, his dad's like a master craftsman, like Ryan is the master of creator interviews.
See, that's nowhere near true. My dad is so much better at what he does.
Wonder Woman in white on cover B looks good. Which cover? Which book? From this week, the Sensational Wonder Woman, or is that next week? That's next week. The Sensational
Yeah, I
Wonder
was going
Woman's
to say
coming
that's
out.
next week. It would have been either Wonder Woman or Immortal Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Immortal Wonder Woman was last week. This week, I don't know if we have a Wonder Woman-centric title at all. No,
I still want that 616 Yara Floor, that orange and yellow one. That was fire.
I know the 2 Jenny Frison ones I have coming my way. Like when this is all said and done, I don't know how much of this I want to necessarily in the long run try to keep in the PC, just because it takes up a lot of space, and I'm trying to work on not taking up too much space. Infinite Frontier. Okay, so the Infinite Frontier issue 0 cover B has got the Spectre for the background and Wonder Woman in the foreground in an all-white suit.
Okay.
It does look amazing, and I'm definitely excited to see where you read Immortal Wonder Woman from last week. You kind of get an idea on how a lot of these Wonder Woman elements are really similar. Going into Future State, she kind of hit God status, where she met one of the literal hands of creation, and kind of got tasked with being like a steward to the omniverse more than just an individual goddess set on a world. And so Immortal Wonder Woman at the end of issue 2, she actually met the Spectre, she was the last living being in the entire universe, and the Spectre was just sitting still waiting for them to cross paths, because it's easier than looking for somebody when it's just 2 people, which I thought was kind of cool. Like in the vastness of this universe, it was easier for him to find her by just sitting still and just waiting the eons until they cross paths. But the way they did it was really cool. And moving forward, starting out an Infinite Frontier with her on a godlike level. Thank you, buddy. The dude went hard playing at the park today, like really hard. So insides of his legs are rashed up. He's walking like he just got off a horse. Poor guy. But yeah, that cover B does look really good. There's a lot of amazing covers coming out. I just turned in my DC Connects for the new one came out today, issue 9 for February 2021, but I turned in issue 8 today, the little checklist. And there's some cool covers coming up that I made sure that I asked for. Like the next issue of Flash is amazing. when it finally comes back. You're not in that.
It couldn't get any worse.
I'm just talking about the cover at this point because it's supposed to be it's supposed to be
gonna
Wally
say.
West's return. Let me see if I can get this where you can see it.
There's still like 2 pages in one of those flash books that I have no clue what happened. Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's hard to
Who
get.
did that?
You have Kid Flash all the way in the back, and then it goes to Kid Flash, or Flash,
Yeah.
Flash. It's just the evolution of Wally.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who did it. Come here, buddy.
That's pretty sweet.
What you want to do?
Puppy Pals right now.
You want to watch Puppy Pals right now?
Yeah.
Oh. You want to watch them in Batcave?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
I'll turn
Giant
it on.
DC variant hardcover.
Do you want to take your
that?
nuggets?
No.
No? All right, I'll turn it on for you, buddy. Looking forward to the loads of the last cover coming. I'm not sure who that is. I'm looking forward to Bermejo taking over Superman covers. I know that Superman Red and Blue, which is going to be outside of the normal Superman and action titles, it's going to be, I guess, a self-contained 6-issue series. Bermejo is doing a variant for that one for issue 1. Dude, Ollie's is insane for picking up stuff for cheap. Puppy Pal's my
Puppy
favorite.
Pals.
It's everybody's favorites. Oh, my LCS owner just messaged me. Just got in Calico. Just read it. Wow, you weren't kidding. Do you remember that one that I told you about? That indie book the guy sent me? It was like uber excessive violent, the superhero who was killing people who were cruel to animals. Yeah, my LCS owner just got it in and read it.
He was like, "What did I get into?"
Yeah. There's some very Pulp Fiction GIMP type stuff going on in it.
Yeah, people are really excited over this Bermejo moving over to Superman.
I am. He's an awesome artist, man. Those Detective Comics covers, he was doing every single one of them slapped. But for $1 price point more, and I'm just picking up Detective just purely for story content, not really needing it to keep forever or anything like that. Yeah, see, Tyler agrees. And I think Tyler was picking up all of the my LCS owner just said pretty sick. And not like sick, like that's sick.
Yeah.
Oh man. But Bermejo, yeah, he's a fantastic artist.
Have you seen the meme of Agnes whenever she reveals that she killed Sparky too, and then it's just a picture of John Wick? She's like, and I killed Sparky too, and then it's just a picture of John Wick.
She'd be in trouble.
Like, oh my god, the crossover we need.
Yeah, I don't think
John Wick kills the
world.
MCU.
There's not enough magic in the world to save you from that man if you killed his dog.
Right.
And see, that's what I think. I'm looking forward to Berserker next week as well. It just seems like the Eternal Warrior kind of rewritten,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in it. Like, I have my feelings about how they've handled it up to this point, but all in all, like, I like.
What do you mean?
Just the fact that they went to Kickstarter and it's a whole complicated thing. Like, I do not know where I stand on all of that, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I am slightly frustrated that they took that to Kickstarter when Keanu has like $9 bajillion and could have just taken care of the problem in the first place.
Well, why do you think that this book went to Kickstarter opposed to every other Boom title that comes out going to Kickstarter first?
Because I think they wanted guaranteed sales. I think there was a certain number that they had to make to reach the payroll because of the celebrity status on a book like that. And so I think they wanted guaranteed sales, and they knew they could generate them if they went straight to the audience instead of through a publisher.
Makes sense. I'm starting. Boom also took those ultimate hardbacks that they do for Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin series. They're doing a full collection of them. I think it's 5 or 6 hardback volumes, and you can order them all in a big set together, but it's only pre-order from Kickstarter. So they're not going to make a single extra one at all.
Well, what's it called? Nocturna. The crap. What's his name? Snyder, but not the movie one.
Scott.
Scott Snyder, his like image book or whatever, they took that to Kickstarter because they wanted to release like a very nice like art director's cut kind of version of it,
Mhm.
And so they took that to Kickstarter and sold that version on Kickstarter before the book even comes out through Image. I think they're all coming out at the same time, but if you went through Kickstarter, you get like this nice like very well done like director's cut version of it.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of Kickstarters, and while the comic breeder over
Oh,
here, I
so
think
it's not even the actual book; it's just the script. I thought that was included with the book. You got to be out of your
No.
mind because it was
The,
pricey too. It's very pricey.
might be because it's a script in the art. The book might be
Yeah,
cheaper. But
right.
I backed a Kickstarter project called Stake Presents Jersey or
Oh
Jeremy or
yeah.
something like that, the vampire book.
Hmm.
And I think it's David Byrne who wrote it,
I
something
don't
like
know.
that.
Could be. I
I'm
remember that
pretty
book
sure that
coming
they
up. I
were.
don't remember why though.
I'm pretty sure he was on the Comic Burrito show because I remember watching their show.
Yeah, I think that's where I know it from.
And I had backed that. That was the first comic book I backed on Kickstarter ever because I wanted a specific cover for it, which I'm sure you can already guess who did a cover for him if I was chasing a variant. But that comes in today. So I'm excited about that. And it was a good interview. Seemed like a fun guy.
Yeah,
It's a script with the book. It was like 30 to 40 for a hardcover of one issue. Good God.
yeah. So it is like a director's cut kind of thing, but yeah, way too pricey. I mean, I guess it's not too pricey if like you're really into it and you wanted that story and stuff and you wanted nice hardcover versions. I guess 30 to 40 is not bad, but
Special features are fun and all, but how many issues did it go for? That's just one issue that's between $30 and $40.
yeah, the first issue of Thor I got on Donny Cates Thor I got on Comixology, and that came as the director's cut version, and it's got like all it has the script in there plus like a lot of the concept images and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
But it was the same price as the regular book when it dropped, and I really appreciate having all of that, but there's no way in my mind I would pay 30 to 40 bucks for a single issue director's cut version. I would always prefer to have the director's cut version if they want to,
Mhm.
go ahead and include that though. I'll take it for $4. I'd even pay an extra dollar if they release like every issue as like with an extra like dollar version sitting on the shelf next to it. I'd pay the extra dollar for a lot of stuff, especially if
Yeah.
I like the writer and want the script and stuff. It would be worth
Right now
it.
they
But
do that, but it's just because you're getting a card stock cover for a lot of variants,
yeah,
which I get. Like it does cost a little more, but that's doesn't cost that much more.
hmm
Probably with the amount that they're making them in.
yeah. The first issue of Nocturna, I think, is what he's talking about, comes out next week. I know it seems like forever that Scott Snyder's been talking about it, so I'll be glad when it finally comes out. Maybe people
Oh,
will talk more or less about it.
this is Rob, by the way. This is my wife works with his girlfriend together, and he collects comics as well and gets into all kinds of cool stuff. That's awesome. I
Awesome.
haven't ever been in here in the live before. I see that he does see the stuff on Facebook and all that stuff. But yeah, I did not recognize him from Mudcats Indoor Mini RC Crawling and Terraforming. That is a very, very specific handle. I
I know,
appreciate that.
right?
But yeah, he's got all kinds of really cool RC cars, and he got Finn a little shark-shaped RC car for Christmas or his birthday or something that he plays with all the time. He terrorizes our dog with it.
Wait, are we back at it's just the script and the art, not even the actual book? So you still got to go drop like $4 or $5 at your LCS to get the story? That's ridiculous.
Paranormal Hitman come out tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
You already
that
read that though,
one.
didn't you?
No, actually, I hadn't read the first issue yet. That one got pushed back a week too, didn't it? They got
I'm not
pushed back to
100%
last
sure.
week, right?
I'm not 100% sure when it was originally supposed to come out. It
The
was
the
really
list
only
that
on
I
my
put
radar
together, it
because
didn't show up on that week.
you talked
I want
about
to
that
say it
book
dropped
before you did
last
that
week or
interview.
something. Yeah. It was supposed to come out on the 10th, but it got pushed back to the 17th. which is the week that I wasn't able to go anywhere. So
It reminds me of BPRD, but with a historical twist to it. Instead of just being just random ghosts, monsters, whatever, they actually play into a lot more of the retconning history with it, which is always really fun.
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I like alt history and stuff. Like Full Metal Alchemist, the anime, especially the first series, the way that they kind of like play around with alternate history, and then they get into like the Nazis and Hitler in the movie and stuff, the Conquerors of Shambhala. Like, oh my god, I love whenever they take and do like alt history kind of stuff. I think that's part of what I like about Department of Truth too, is
I
just
thought
like
you
the
were going to
idea
say
that
Abraham
everything
Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
I saw that in theaters. It was a great action flick.
It was fun. It was really
Yeah,
fun.
it was fun, but I walked out there like, oh my god, what? Why was there even a script for this? It should have just been keyframes and panels.
Then not long after they gave us Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Did you ever watch that one?
I haven't seen that one.
You read Manifest Destiny from Image?
I have not read that one. I do need to though. But I did read up to this point at least, I've read most of Undiscovered Country, which I wouldn't call it like alt history necessarily. It's like alt future. Even though I think it's supposed to be like taking place in like our current era, but I don't know. Anyway, America shut itself off, and now we're rediscovering American history, and it's a pretty cool book. It's just really like so packed, very dense.
Have you read anything from today yet?
Nuh-uh, not from today.
I don't know if I'm going to get to anything today. I would love to. There's certain books that I'm like super pumped about, but I'm kind of a slave to a little tick of reading them in order, like timeline order, So I have to get through a lot of them to get to where I want to be. And some of them I'm not looking forward to getting through.
I'm not even going to read that.
I'm reading it. I'm not going to say I read all of Future State except one book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read it.
If anybody did read that first one, they totally understand, man.
Yeah. Did you see my new comic book day from Saturday where I was talking about? I'm like, whatever y'all do, don't buy this book. I'll buy it. I'll read it. I'll let you know how bad it was. But nobody better buy this and say that I recommended it.
Yeah. You said nobody better buy this and say I recommended it.
I made that abundantly
Oh, like, good
clear.
Lord. Yeah. You took the fine print at the bottom and like blew it up.
Yeah.
Made that the title.
Yeah. Covering all my bases.
What's up, Tapia?
Oh, we got Alex in here. What's up with the DC? What linear verse?
Supposed to be linear verse?
Yeah, Omniverse. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. So it's getting there. This is the final week before we really dive into it. We do have the bookend for all this future state stuff, like Ryan mentioned, with Generations Forged, which this is just such a cool concept for a story. Like you said in your video when you mentioned on it, how it's just like a ragtag team that's completely out of time. Like it's perfect. Like the dynamic of this team is just impossible to work.
Explain Commandy.
He's the last boy on Earth. It's a future post-apocalyptic Earth. His name's Commandy because
I just ate a sandwich too.
I want a sandwich in my juice box. Let's talk comics. Let's do it. But his name is Commandy because there's like this unit called Command Letter D, and he was too young to comprehend what that was, so it's just Commandy. And it's just a future post-apocalyptic. Like think Planet of the Apes, and he's Charlton Heston, but instead of apes, you have different animal-like monsters, this and that. And God, I can't remember what it is, but there's this weird little catch, like kind of like how the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet are actually related, just generations down the road. There's a little catch with him and another character, but it's such an obscure character, like probably more popular in the 70s and 60s and stuff. I would really need my dad to reference this.
So you said he's the last boy?
Last boy on Earth, yeah.
Meaning like he never grows up to be a man? Or just
following him at that age.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, aging.
Yeah, he kind of came off
up.
as like a Tarzan kind of character to me.
Hey. Oh, snap.
Look at that.
But he's not going to show off the grade. That was
He's a master of teases.
the per usual cameo from videos.
Commandy is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I liked him in
Here's a good
I
way
liked
to
him.
explain it.
I mean, I always really liked
And I'll be right back. You tell
always
them what
really
you
liked the Disney Tarzan movie. And so that's kind of how like this Commandy kid came off. Like I could just see him sliding around on vines the same way and stuff. So that's a character I need to actually look into because I really liked him in Generations Shattered, and I'm assuming he's going to be in Generations Forged. So definitely a cool character. It is weird though because they kept referring to him as like a boy and a man, and I was like, I'm so lost right now. I think they call him the last boy at one point, and then like they later kind of refer to him as like being fully grown. What happened to you?
When Arnold give me the little monkey, then just scratch my neck.
It scratched your neck. Yeah, I think that's what Mark had told me originally is he's a Kirby character.
Oh yeah.
Well, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I just went to go check on Finn because his poor little legs are worn out from that playground, and I've got my back door open. It's amazing, and the dog just comes in and out. So I'm like, man, let me go check on Finn. I know he's not very mobile at the moment. Let me make sure he didn't creep out.
Right.
And he's laying in his bedroom, all covered up with his Batmobile, with his hands behind his head, just chilling. As Rob said, yes, he is a Kirby character. He's one of the many amazing things Kirby did for his brief stint at DC. Like, I think I've got all of those Kirby titles now. OMAC, Commandy, Sandman, Forever People, Mr. Miracle. I'm just missing the Jimmy Olsen, where he started out on the Jimmy Olsen titles. Austin, Tyler messaged you. He is the master of those cameo appearances. I'm excited to see what Ghost Rider book that was now. But yeah, I was just going to check out
There's
some of the
one
stuff
from the 90s. What, a Commandy book?
Yeah, all those started in like the 70s, 71, and I think the last one that he wrote, the last number one that he wrote was in 76, which was the Sandman. But they did more stuff with those characters over the years.
You know,
Commandy's come and gone numerous times.
The other day I read Valiant's Savage #1, and that's what also had me thinking that he reminded me a lot of Commandy. Unfortunately, they took a route that I wasn't really that interested in. Because just imagine if you took Commandy and put him in the modern world and made him like an Instagram influencer, how awful would that be?
That's weird.
Yeah.
How would he even know how to use the phone?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. Is like he's supposed to be a fish out of water, but like I don't know, it plays so weird whenever you're like because he's an Instagram influencer, and apparently he has like a brother that is like an Instagram influencer manager, so he's basically like exploiting him, really, you know. All the people on the social media are like, oh my god, it's Savage.
That's horrible.
It was not very good. I did not enjoy it.
How cool was it in Generation Shattered, the first part of this, where you have Batman, who's normally the absolute smartest person on the team, who is now the techno crippled member of the team. As you have Batman from, well, which one did they get? 1939 Batman?
Yeah, 1939.
You get Batman from 1939 brought into the future where he's absolutely useless.
Yeah, who is Batman 1939? Like, is he a fighter or a detective or like action Batman? Or...
Bro, he's a straight up murderer is what he is.
So Batman, like, he's going to be like the muscle.
Dude, Batman in 1939, in the first book he was in, he throws a guy, he kicks a guy through railing and into a vat of acid. And this isn't joking. It was Arthur something. It was like the first villain. And then right after that, he throws a guy off a roof. It was all kinds of stuff.
Pulp hero stuff. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Comic Book Club Live, maybe. And they interviewed this lady that wrote like a comic book that kind of deals in like the property damage and the lives lost and stuff from like all this superhero fallout and all that, you know. And she was able to take like actual disasters and like get into the actual science of what the byproduct would be of some of these things, you know. And she was like, yeah, like she was like, Batman, the 39 Batman. I don't know if she wrote Damage Control or if this is something new. I wasn't paying quite enough attention. I think it's like independent of actual superheroes, almost like an Image book or something. But it could be. Don't. I'm not saying that's wrong either. Anyway, the point is, like, she's done like all the science and math and stuff behind how it would actually play out. She said Batman absolutely is a killer because, like, even if you think about he doesn't kill them in person, like the injuries he causes puts these people in hospitals for months where they get things like bed sores and they're at higher risk for infection. And if they die as a byproduct of being in the hospital because Batman kicked them off a roof or something, like, that's still murder. Like, technically under law, it's murder.
Yeah, emotional damage at that too. But when Batman date, I mean, a lot of people know this, but of course there's still some people who with Batman has been like the modern stuff, but you know, he carried twin 45s like the Shadow for a while. You know, this was a series when you had like back in the day, you had like the Spider, the Shadow, the Green Llama, and Doc Savage. You had all these characters who did not mind ending crime. Dick Tracy, like all of his villains, all of those gangsters met the most savage of ends. He either took them out himself or caused them to go hide out in the freezing snow where they froze to death and stuff. They're all just straight savages. So it wasn't until like modern era. That was something that actually rubbed me the wrong way in Ron B's Catwoman issue 2 for Future State, is when they got Bruce out and Talia was fighting side by side. First thing he tells her is no killing. I'm like, dude, come on, don't tell her that. Like, you do that. You do that with yourself. Like, don't tell her what to do. And not because it's a girl, not because you have your this, no, because it's Talia for one. Like, quit saying stuff to her that she told you.
She runs assassins. I mean, you think you get any respect in the Assassins Guild without murder?
It kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
That's what we were just talking about, Freaky. Like, his first book, he throws Arthur, whoever the crime lord, over the rail into the vat of acid with a swift kick. Carried guns, everything. Yes, that's one of my favorite ones right there. I've got some cool Phantom stuff, but the Ghost Who Walks is an amazing character. And back in the day, it just wasn't a thing for villains just to get those horrible demises. But so this Batman does not mind. This Batman does not mind taking people out. And this is the Batman we're getting. So I hope they play into that in this, you know, like really shock some modern readers who don't have experience with the Batman who didn't have that limit, you know.
Yeah.
Don't take that angle with him. Let it be shocking to Sinestro of all people when you're in front of a criminal or something and he just pushes them off the roof. Sinestro, like, what are you doing?
You guys talking about old Batman?
Yeah, and how he's in this hodgepodge team right here. It's actually his first appearance, Batman, back when he killed people, carried guns. And what is his team dynamic going to be? What does he bring to the team? How are they going to shock the readers? And I'm just hoping there's a moment where you have like Batman and Green Lantern, good guy Sinestro, on a rooftop, and they're trying to get some information, and Batman just pushes them. Just doesn't say anything, just pushes them.
Right.
Thanks for the answers.
Yeah, I remember reading those early issues. I want to say it's like in Batman or Detective, like 31. He's swinging down and he just snaps the guy's neck.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm like, whoa.
Speaking of Future State Catwoman, though, like, how awesome was Onomatopoeia?
The best.
Like, can we please get Rom V doing some more onomatopoeia stuff? Like, that was genius. I love the way that character worked in that book. It was amazing.
I use that example numerous times when I was having pointless conversations with people on different platforms where conversation is not fruitful ever, despite your best effort. And you have people that are naysaying what DC's been doing for the past 2 months. So like, they just need to start using some of the characters to just sit around and collect dust. I'm like, they are. And I use onomatopoeia as an example. That was an awesome little treat at how they rolled him out, and he just puts the bag on his head and takes the blood and draws the symbol.
Yeah, that, and just like the way he moves through the room, and like, I don't know, like how quiet but confident he is, you know? Like, it felt like Selena could be kind of like out of control and not sure what to do next, because he was always kind of there as like a foundation, you know?
He was definitely doing his own thing. Like he didn't stop moving even in the background. Like,
yeah,
you're wanting to look around her and see what he was up to. Like, I know I'm supposed to be focused here, but what is that psycho doing back there?
Right? Oh, he was so cool.
And in my opinion, which I value very highly when it comes to DC Comics, I think that Generations Shattered and Generations Forged is almost necessity if you read DC Comics on any level, because it's the introduction, the soft introduction with story to the new format of the DC universe to a degree. Also, there's an introduction of a villain that I think is going to be the heel of this second chapter that might bleed over into the big villain that, as the Omniverse, you're going to be facing in this first big, first big year of DC. Because if you notice, all the heroes and villains are together, they're going to have something bigger than the hero and villain conflict to all face together.
If you don't pick it up, though, you can just watch all of Legion of Comics videos, and he'll cut you right up.
I can't speak for the second one yet, of course. Generations Forged, it just came out, but like Generations Shattered is like not like a DC head or anything. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was just like a no time to explain kind of story. Like, you meet Commandy and he's running from something that's just like basically erasing time and all of existence. And so he takes off running, and then he like runs into Booster Gold, and then they get into a time warp, and then they just like keep running and running and running. And so if you like just like mindless, like fun action, I won't even say but you know, just like fun action, a lot of run and gun stuff, like, I think it was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
You made it sound really fun. Just hearing that, even though you sounded kind of down on it, that sounds like a blast. Anything with Booster Gold having fun.
And
yeah, it is cool because he loses his arm, but it's still like his personality, you know.
Look at that hodgepodge of characters with OMAC right there, slap dab in the center. So we get more Kirby characters popping up. More Kirby characters. This is so great. I'm just kind of spoiling it for myself at the moment, but do you remember that last panel, last page of the
Generation Shattered?
Yeah, where that person kind of stepped out of the cosmic realm and into a door, and it turned black and white, and he was in just like 1940s clothes, and his family came in the room. Yeah, like, that just has me intrigued. I want to know what's up with that.
Yeah, I definitely need to go back and read it again before I read Forged. But yeah, it was interesting. It was fun. I mean, I think my point is kind of like, for Mark, he knows like all the DC stuff and all the history, and so for him, like, it's unfolding in a different way. But for me, as somebody who really don't know those characters not nearly as well, it's just a lot of fun. It was super fun. They just like bounce from time to time, and you know, they go and they're gonna add Brainiac to the team, and they accidentally get Superman instead, and like it messes up the team building, so it makes the team even that much weirder because they keep grabbing the wrong people.
As they're being guided by Skeets. Like, Booster Gold from the distant future has Skeets like as a gauntlet on his arm, and that Booster Gold pretty much dies right out the gate. And Skeets links up with Commandy, who is not tech savvy or savvy to anything outside of his small little city, where he has to scavenge to survive on a daily basis without the luxury of even a t-shirt. So it's pretty cool just seeing that dynamic. And then you're, like he said, they go to try to get, as Skeets tells him, we need the smartest person we can find. And just from legends of hearing in the past of this Superman, it's got to be Superman. So he grabs Superman at the last minute when that whole world gets destroyed, And Skeets is like, "What did you just do?" And he does this countless times. They go to get the Superman they want, and they go to the last minute when the undoing is happening, and Superman gets undone right in front of their eyes. And Booster at that time's like, "Y'all look like my new best friends. I'm coming with y'all." And he gets out of Dodge. So they're playing these characters perfectly. For something like he said it has no time to explain itself. It just explains it as it's happening. They're introducing these characters and their kind of their attitudes and their archetypes perfectly in those brief moments. Like this Booster Gold is I'm going to save myself by the skin of my teeth. I'll smile and be your buddy because it's time to go kind of guy. And it's just it's fun,
I mean,
man.
the other thing that I love
fun.
about it is like all these characters are kind of like, you know, they're in a random time and space, you know, so they're not at home. But like, you don't have 1939 Batman. He doesn't pop up in like 2025 and he's just like curling up in a little fetal position, all like scared of the future. Like he's still competent. Like he can still be a fighter. He can, you know, they don't play him for the fish out of water. They don't play him as dummies. They're like, I don't know what a computer is, but I still know how to punch a guy in the face. So let's do that, you know?
I think it's cool that when they needed somebody to be the smart person, they went and got John Henry Irons from Star Labs. So you have Steel on the team as you're taking that role on the smart tech guy, where instead of Batman being like that aspect, it's just such a cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Sinestro, Green Lantern is on there. It's really cool. And that new Spawn's universe thing that's about to come out, Todd McFarlane said 2021 is going to be the year of Spawn. We'll see. I think it's awesome in theory. I think it's great for Spawn fans, but I don't think you're going to see a huge explosion of people moving over to Image to follow a Spawn universe. Just based off the current number of sales that Spawn's commanded. And he said he wanted to do it because there's been people that are alive that read today that have never had the luxury of buying a Spawn #1. So he's going to give us an Infinite Frontier issue 0 scenario, just a oversized one shot that introduces you to these 3 new ongoing titles.
The Spawnverse.
I'm for sure picking them up. I'm at least. What I'm hoping is like, not that any of them are bad, but I'm hoping one really stands out and I can get onto that one, and then maybe like I've read the like 50 issues of Spawn and stopped just because I needed to read other stuff. But I definitely liked it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. Medieval Spawn has always been the most intriguing and entertaining one to me. So I plan on definitely hoping that one is gangbusters for me, because I would like to like that one. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have the Gunslinger Spawn, which is the current stuff that he's been in. He's really cool. Like he's really fun to read. And they're going to have the Gunslinger, the Medieval Spawn. Then they're going to have the Scorched, which is like the Justice League Spawn title with multiple different characters on one team. And they're going to have a few Spawns, and the Redeemer is going to be on the team. So it definitely sounds cool. And the talent that they have coming out to work on this is insane. Like the writers and artists that they announced, he announced so many of them, but I know Capullo's coming back. Brent Booth is going to be doing some covers. There's a lot of really, really big name artists.
I think I saw Sean Gordon Murphy.
Yes.
Because I love him. I love his art.
Yes. He's one of the best artists I've seen on Batman in recent years. He is to Batman what Capullo was for Spawn. Like he just has this unique style that just no one else does it like him, in my opinion.
I just wonder, like, and it's not just the Spawnverse thing, but I do have certain concerns over like market saturation, because we all say we want a connected universe and we want all these things, but the number one complaint we get out of every single crossover event that they do is, well, there's too many tie-ins, there's too much to keep up with, this got too big, too fat, you know, like I feel like Marvel's MCU is a little bit of an exception, because a lot of that content is included in Disney Plus, so you're already paying one price to get it all. But in a world where you have to buy every comic book in order to keep up with it, it becomes so pricey that it prices a lot of people out of the connectiveness.
In defense of Todd McFarlane, who's probably the best creator in the industry at this, those are the most affordable books that ever hit the shelf. $2.99, and there's only going to be 4 titles. That gives you 1 book every new comic book day to read. That's all. You just have 1 Spawn book a week, which is like, if you're talking about what that concern you just had and where's the balance for it, that's kind of like I don't know. That seems like a great number as long as you get them out all in
Mm-hmm.
separate weeks. I mean, I don't know if that's their plan, but having
Yeah, I
one
mean,
Spawn book a
I
week is
think
nice.
that would be like a best case situation is where like you're literally just picking up a Spawn book every week. That would be flawless, you know. That would
Mhm.
be something that I think would hold people because we like patterns, we like regular things, you know. That's why they come out with books once a month or every 2 weeks, or in this case, you could be getting Spawn once a week. That would build a great habit for people, and they would just be buying because, you know.
I'm hoping that the stories like tie together, but aren't like necessities together, like events can be. Because I don't want to see a Spawn event. I just want to grab what I grab, and if I grab something else, maybe it adds to the story. I love
Mhm.
that. Like, but when you get into all these events where you have to grab every single title in DC and every single title in Marvel for like King in Black or whatever is out that month, that's just too much.
That's
Double
what
the
happened
tuna.
with Death Metal, that those tie-ins absolutely
Yeah,
counted. So the people
I
who didn't
know.
want to pick them up, they got about to issue 3 of Death Metal and like, where are we?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
at
I
that
picked
point,
all.
we're
I picked all
6
those
issues
up.
behind. Yeah, I enjoyed it though. I mean, it
I
was all,
enjoyed the tie-ins more than the event actually.
yeah, that's where all the meat and potatoes was happening. Because
Mm-hmm.
dude, I've never seen tie-ins hold weight like that. Like, absolutely. But that also, with how heavy that got trying to do that, that's what made Future State work so well, I think, for me, is just that clean plate. Completely different. Absolutely refreshing.
The clean plate and the slimmed down model by taking everything else away and just giving us, you know, a couple of books every week. I think that helped a lot because it keeps you a little more invested than whenever it's just like literally everything has to be tied together.
You say a couple of books a week?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it built up pretty quick, yeah, but
Yeah. Granted,
but you
there's
know, if you think like if you were into the Batman thing, there was a Batman universe book like every week you could pick up, and but there still wasn't so many that it was just like overwhelming your wallet, you know.
yeah. They had
Now, if
either
you're
6
crazy
books
and
come out or
masochistic and
7
want
books.
everything from Future State, then yes, there's quite a bit.
Yeah, there's either 6 books out a week or 7. They had 3 out of 8 weeks where 7 books came out a week. Why I know that, I don't know.
Are you? I know you've been loving Future State, and I think it's been better than I expected. But are you excited for it to end and like go back to
Absolutely.
normal?
Well, no, I'm excited for it to end and get to something that's not normal. I'm excited
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the new Infinite Frontier. Absolutely. I'm excited for it because it's another fresh slate. But what I'm loving is they did not hard reboot us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They did the opposite. They said we're sick of the hard reboots. And I don't want to this be taken the wrong way, but they're going to go and destroy the Dio's legacy with DC of all those resets and reboots, and they're just going to flip it on its head where it actually makes for better content now, because now you have all these different defined eras that all still exist. So if you were a fan of one of those, you get it back in some kind of context, depending on what writers choose to work inside that realm. But I like the on paper what they're about to try to do. It looks like a great idea to me, because in all reality, they've slowly been doing something along those lines anyways. Like when Jeff Johns was writing Justice Society of America, he made Kingdom Come canon. That's when it got solidified as Earth 22. And that's a future state. You know what I mean? That's no different. Kingdom Come is no different than future state. It's just a possible future that now you're just saying happened in a different place. So for them to actually just finally just throw in the towel and say, okay, that is what it is. Everything counts. Everything we've done, it's here somewhere out there. And I think that they got some cool concepts going into it. Finally naming the multiverse the Omniverse, giving it 2 centers and stuff. And you have Earth Prime and Elseworld as the center of the new DC Omniverse. And so there's cool stuff to explore.
I would like to see this kind of become, you know, status quo for DC at least for a while. Just let's roll from like weird event to weird event. You know, make Infinite Frontier a 2 or 3 month thing, and then let's do something else just like wild and crazy. Because I don't know, for me personally, like I don't need an ongoing Batman or Superman title or whatever. Like I don't need you to tell me Ghostmaker's 2 issue story in 5
Yeah.
issues. Like ongoing is not a good word to me because it turns into either trying to expand stuff out long enough to buy yourself enough time to come up with the next cool idea, or else you're just always writing yourself into a corner so that you can write yourself out of it. And if you ever don't, then you just kind of like magically reset things, you know. I would rather see, you know, an artist, like a writer and an artist come into DC and pitch them and be like, yo, I got this 5-issue story that's going to slap. And they're like, you know what, do it. And you don't have to worry about continuity or anything. It's just like a little mini series and we're done, you know. But the idea that like, we're going to let you just write 100 issues of Batman. And if people decide they don't like it 85 issues in, we're going to cancel it. And so they're not going to get their whole story. And now you got this new writer trying to get everything straight so he can do his thing. Like, let's forget all that. Let's have these writers and artists like put together a pitch, you know, and come up with an idea and be like, this is the story I want to tell. And let's get them in there, tell the story and get out.
Yeah, I like ongoing, but it's kind of like what you said. I want a writer to come in and tell their story and get out. Like, I think Tom King did exactly what you said. He had a great 5-issue series and he took it 85, but maybe not quite that. At least maybe for Strange Adventures or a couple other things. He just drags it out so bad it's hard to read.
Well, and again, I mean, we even see him, like, whenever he knows how many issues he needs to plan and stuff, he does really good. Whenever there's a finite amount of issues, he knows how to plan a good story across that. But when you're like, here's 100 issues, like, he didn't really seem to have a strong plan, and it felt like some of it was just kind of like fluffing it out so he could buy himself enough time to come up with the next strong arc for it all, you know?
Yeah, he fluffed it out, and then I just feel like the story, if that was his true ending, first of all, it was rushed, not his fault. But second of all, if that was actually the ending, that was a really bad ending. Because I actually liked when we got the City of Bane. I know a lot of people hated that. I thought it was a really cool idea. It's something different. Like, why would I be mad at that? But it just didn't feel good because then we're going back to like Batman and Catwoman on a beach. I know that'll forever be the trope, but man, it's just bad.
Yeah, I've been reading Batcat though, and it's like phenomenal. I love it. I think it's awesome what he's doing there. But
I stopped after the first issue. Like, we got the initial song in the first issue and barely any plot, and I said, that's just enough.
Yeah, see, I picked up the first one for the conversation because I knew Mark was really into it. And that one, I was like, this was cool. Like, there was good conversation that came from it, but it didn't blow me away, you know. But that second one, it really hooked me in. Like, it just comes in like the animated series style, and it feels like the continuation of those characters and like the grown-up version of those characters and stuff. It's really cool. I really like the second and third one a lot more than the first one.
Yeah, that's cool. I like. Have you read Mr. Miracle?
No, I've read part of the first issue, but that's all I have of it.
Oh wow, I'm shocked. I am so shocked. Well,
yeah,
Mr.
no,
Miracle,
I need to finish it all.
I think that was my first introduction to Tom King. And it just like it hooked me because of the characters so much. It's like a family story. That's all it is. It's like a simple family story with very little plot. It's just like the plot is basically a kid. And it just ties you into the family and gets you feeling for them. And that's the whole thing. He did such a good job with that. It didn't need anything more than that. But I don't get. No, I'm talking about Mr. Miracle.
Oh, the Tom King one?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about firepower.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
I just heard you talking about tying you into family. And I'm like,
no.
Firepower.
Is that how you felt about Mr. Miracle? You just like I just thought the family part was so good that it just brought me in.
That was definitely a big aspect of it. For me, it was what got me was honestly the opening to it. The mystery of what was going on in that scene when you come to find out that he made an attempt on his own life. He attempted suicide to see if he could escape the one thing that he's never tried to escape, and it was death. So just the mystery of going for 12 issues, wondering if that was his cop-out, if he was really trying to test himself, or if his life is really just wasn't worth trying to stick around for, you know? That's what really kept me going, was just trying to dive into that actual mystery aspect of it. The fourth world characters and the dynamic of the world's most dysfunctional family ever known in literature is always interesting for me.
Yeah.
Like dude, that's what really sold me on King. After that, I went and found Heroes in Crisis and collected volume because it had already started running and I didn't pick it up and stuff.
What do you think of Heroes in Crisis? What do you think, Ryan? Have you read that?
Nope, haven't read that. I really haven't read any of Tom King other than some of those Batman issues, and then Batcat.
What about Rorschach? Did you start that?
No, didn't start that one either.
I read the first issue and had less than 0 interest, and that's coming from like Watchmen diehard. So,
dude, don't stop, because I don't know how
I did.
when it finishes and you have time and you're like, what should I read? And you search around on your little digital sources and it's available. Definitely hit a few up, because of that first issue. Anything Tom King, the first issue means nothing to the overall.
It's so hard.
I mean, that's
the first issue has to hook me, and it just didn't at all.
That's not how, but going into it, knowing his style of doing things and the way he's structured so untraditionally, that first issue didn't have me hooked either, but it had me intrigued enough. I'm like, I didn't even know what I was supposed to be intrigued with yet specifically, but I know, I didn't even know what question to ask yet. Like, why does this killer have Rorschach's DNA? Why, who is this girl? What am I supposed to care about? What are we going to follow? And now you come to find out that Rorschach is not the focus. It's the girl that made the attempt on the president's life, or the candidate's life so far. But it's about to expand big time more. Now we're kind of actually, the last issue started focusing on the presidential candidate Turley, who they took the attempt on, and it looks like things are about to get a little bit more involved in that aspect of the story.
Oh, so I got a Grail book that I haven't shown yet, but I'll show it here first because I've got a question for you, Mark. You might know. Ryan, you might know too. But I just got this in the mail.
Nice.
Ooh,
and it looks like it's misprinted. Do you think you can make me big so you can see it better? I want look at the Watchmen. I'm gonna see if I can see it. But if you look closely, there's like yellow. See on next to it, and then there's blue on the next to the green.
Hold on.
It's like off.
Like offset, yeah.
Yeah, it's offset. And I've looked online at other ones. I have 2 other copies too, and I've not seen another one like it. That doesn't mean there aren't a ton, but I've just not seen one personally. And then on the back, it's the same thing. See how there's like yellow?
Yeah, there's like a yellow edge.
And that's not supposed to be there. It's printed off center.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't even know that was the case when I got it, and my other 2 copies of Watchmen 1 don't have it. And obviously I said I looked on eBay. It might not be like a big deal, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, sometimes like
it makes me wonder.
Those misprints like that. Sometimes they might run like 10,000 of them, So it's a misprint, but it's not rare enough to count. Yeah.
And it's not like labeled on CGC. Not that means anything. Like they ever notice anything, but
isn't that the ink reacting?
It's definitely not the ink reacting, because like the top is completely off center too. It's like the Watchmen blue, the Watchmen that's supposed to be completely green is blue. It's like it was printed just slightly off. So I don't know what it is. It's not like the ink ran or anything. But it looks so weird. It looks like it's supposed to be 3D.
Mine doesn't have it down here. I do have the red line on the back, but no other blue.
Is there a yellow line?
Yeah, I've got a yellow
No.
line.
Yeah, see how there's a yellow line in between red and black?
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't have that. So yeah, you got the good one.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. I've got 2 more Watchmen 1s, and neither of them have it either. Yeah, the yellow ink paint was offset. Yeah, for sure. So it's offset for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It looks like there's the blue, because the Watchmen underneath. Here, I'll look. See if you can see it. But there's like blue. See how the end looks almost 3D?
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's like blue, and then the top, right at the top, is almost all like half blue, half green.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that part.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. I'll trade you my raw copy for it.
I'd love to know more about it, just out of curiosity.
It's kind of cool knowing how trippy that story is.
It looks so weird.
A little bit of acid kind of makes sense in this situation.
And the funny thing is, like, this part is not off at all. Like this is completely normal. It's just the side and the back.
That is strange.
I don't know. And I did look online. I was gonna
like when they change the paper, the big rollers or something.
Mm-hmm.
If it has to feed for a minute to get lined up or anything.
I was gonna hit up Skeff, and I still might, just to see. Like, I'd love to know. But I don't really want to bother anyone. It's more of just a curiosity thing.
Well, I don't think when it comes to asking intriguing comment questions, you're bothering people like Skeff. Let me.
Yeah,
so
and like
far,
you said,
one of a copy of Watchmen. Let me bother you.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I feel like he's a good person to ask.
I feel like, I mean, it definitely feels like a misprint. My question really is like, how many of them were misprinted like that? You know, because that's what'll really make the difference.
Is it commonly known? Like I searched it. I looked on eBay. I probably looked at like 20, 25 issues, didn't see it, and obviously my two, and then Mark's. I just haven't seen another one, which that's not a very big pool of books to look at all. It's just, it's odd.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I know that there's been the last Ronin one had a misprint recently that I know, like everybody who was on Steve's chat that one night, we all checked our copies and none of us had one. I think that like Yahweh was the only one that had one.
Yeah. He was the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
What was misprinted?
One of the pages I think is just not fully colored.
Like several of the pages. Almost like the last half of the book, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. There's a couple they look almost like bleached out. Like they ran out of ink in the printer and forgot to change it for a while.
It said screw it with that many pages.
I'll have to do that, Austin. Honestly, I didn't even think about boiling it. But I might have to do that. Austin said I just need to boil it and the ink goes back in place. So I'll probably do that whack hack later. It's a great idea.
That's crazy.
Did you watch the HBO Watchmen show, Tyler?
Oh, of course I did.
Did you absolutely love it?
Yes.
that might have been a pointed question, but it was really cool.
I'm grabbing it. Here's my steel book of it.
Nice. They made that show canon with the first issue of Rorschach.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's cool. I watched like the first episode of it. It was cool.
Here you go, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll crack it and then just re-slab it.
There you go. Might get you back up to a 9.8 if you could get that ink to line up.
I think you can even save the slab and like do it yourself. I'll try.
Dude, my daughter just turned 1. She just got done reading her first comic. It was a Next Batman number 3. I think it was number 4. I rebought a copy today, but she read my last issue. It didn't make it. She enjoyed it though. I wouldn't have even rebought it, but it was they reveal who Peacekeeper 1 is in the book. So I'm like, God, now I have to. I
still have to read that.
Yeah, the worst backup stories. The only backup stories I can say that I absolutely did not enjoy was the Gotham City Sirens. And that's where they reveal him in. It's not like a light reveal. He's just walking around, mask off, calling himself out, everything.
Wow. Was it? I don't know. Was it even a good reveal? Did all of that conspiracy pay off?
I don't know what you mean.
Were you excited about it? How did you feel about it?
I'm excited after the fact. Like now that I got the reveal, I'm excited for what's to come.
Okay, well that's a good thing.
I'm kind of wondering if this was a decision on Tynan's part. Because he's big on doing this here recently on his run in Batman. And
it's not going to be another new character, is it?
I feel like you might know exactly what I'm saying without me saying it directly. So.
I think so, but I don't want to say it because, I don't know. I was
the same format as Peacekeeper number 6.
Okay. I was never like really that into the whole conspiracy of like who is Peacekeeper 1. I was like, I don't know, he killed Batman. Like, that's cool. Everybody's like, but who is it? Who's under the mask? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is a question we should be asking. And then
it took a while to even ask it, didn't it?
Yeah, like I really didn't have that much interest in who was under the mask. I thought it was a cool element to the story that Peacekeeper knew who it was, you know.
Read Gotham City Sirens and it'll put you right back in that mind frame.
Interesting, yeah.
It's kind of a cool concept also. The part I'm excited about is the fact that we're being given who these characters are and being told who they are before we know who they are. It doesn't matter the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have no origin, we have no backup. We don't know how they got to where they got to, how he knew who Batman was, why is he so formative, any of that. We just know that he is. And the way that he presents himself in this, he's like, he just walks into a room with a mask off because he's around his own people, and he says, do this, blah, 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 blah. His name's Simon Saint. He seems like a total bamf. And everyone fears him, not just Batman, but everyone who he works with. Like, there's low-key threats being made. Like, you remember in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane walks up to that guy and he just takes the back of his hand and lays it on his shoulder and he says, do you feel in control? And the guy just trembles. He has that kind of presence among his peers. And we don't know why. So I'm excited to see why. So I think that his most savage days are yet to come in the build-up that goes into wherever he stands in future state.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Thank you.
For me, like the most gripping mystery in future state was Red X. Like, who is Red X? And then the only thing I hate about the way they played the end of that is that we have to wait to find out. Like, I so want to understand like why everybody was like, why he said old friends. Like, I want to know who this is and why, like, we don't know.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was absolutely awesome. That old friends thing, I hope that's not just something that just was cool for the moment. I hope it actually matters in context.
Oh, yeah. If they don't play that out, I'll be very disappointed in a lot of it.
I want it to be Clown Hunter, but Clown Hunter's not friends with any of them. But you only have 2 years to make him friends with them.
Yeah.
But that's assuming that the current continuity plays directly into this future state story, and it's not in an alt world where
it's hard to say though, because like all it takes is one very stressful situation, with somebody when you're kind of young to like bond with them for a long time, and so it's hard to say like there's only 2 years there. I mean, they're teenagers, so for them, like one major fight as a teenager can bond you to the people you fought that fight with,
Makes sense. Well, we do know that with Titans Academy #1, Red X is right there as Red X in it already. So I think we have like 2 or 3 weeks worth of Infinite Frontier before we get to that. So if it is a Bat character like Bao, you have very limited time to play it out in sidebar story to get him there. Unless they just want to. Maybe I'm assuming too much, thinking that all these titles. I'm still thinking like it's just one continuity line here. I really am. So this new DC setup is so fresh that Titans Academy doesn't have to take place in the same universe. Doesn't have to take place at the same time. It can be its own standalone thing. So I might just be assuming too much.
Yeah. And again, I feel like that's part of where this like omniverse thing sounds great on paper, and then we start to get into it, and like you have to seed all of your mysteries in a different way, When you know the timeline and where something's happening, they can just be like, oh, and this character was here the whole time, and like suddenly it all makes sense. But if they do that now, you're like, yeah, but like where does this character, who is this in this time and this place, like, so I don't know. It's a difficult one. We'll figure it out.
Looking forward to it. What is up, Flash by Night? How are you doing today? Yeah, I hope that they don't play them all in the same overall timeline. Let the Bat titles stand with the Bat titles. Let Superman go do his thing, and just ignore continuity for a while, at least for a little while. That way, the writers and the artists are not restricted on getting these things started right. You don't need them to have a hand tied behind their back, beholden to what stories are being written in a different part of the building.
What's going on with Bao Pham that I saw his like first appearance is going up?
Well, I know it was going up for a minute there because people were specking that he was going to be the Red X reveal in Teen Titans.
Oh, really? Okay. I
don't know if it's still going up now or why.
That, and he's just kind of been a well-received character, kind of caught a little bit of traction, and then the speculation. But while you're mentioning that, I do want to go ahead and mention we have the origin of Clown Hunter in Batman Annual number 5, as well as the first appearance of Clown Hunter as small parts of the 500 subscriber giveaway. So be sure, if you haven't already, to smash that subscribe button. That's coming not long at all, probably quicker than I'll be prepared for.
Probably today.
No.
Yep. No. Me and Lee are gonna push today for you.
Okay, well that's fine. I'll do the giveaway when I'm ready. I also have this fresh copy of Superman Man of Tomorrow, talking about fresh starts after the ending of Apocalypse War. The DC animated universe is having a fresh start as well, and this was the first film to kick off the new era of the animated universe stuff. And as you see, it's a crisp, clean 4K copy that also includes the Blu-ray as well as the digital copy. I am not promoting DVDs on this channel. Catch up or get left, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's your next CGC submission there. It's fresh 4K copy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's so fun. Because the animation was kind of consistent for a while, but they have a new animation style with really bold lines.
Cool.
Like the guy who did like Samurai Jack and Primal, Jindy Tarkovsky or whatever. It looked like that on some level to me.
I'm a fan.
Same here, dude. That Primal show was insane.
Insanely good.
Yes.
That last episode, man. I regret letting my 2-year-old at the time watch it with me.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. Martian Manhunter, Lobo, huge parts in it.
Oh,
and
cool.
If you haven't seen it, don't buy it yet. You might win it.
All right, I won't buy it yet.
Is that stuff not on HBO Max?
I don't know if that one's on there right now. Most of them are. They kind of there's so many DC animated movies. They've been going for a long time. You know, they probably keep either between a third to half of them up there at a time, rotating them out, which is the same thing the DC Universe streaming app did as well while they were up.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that HBO really needs to get straight on the whole HBO Max thing is like, when's the last time that anybody saw or thought about a Disney movie and went, I wonder if that's on Disney Plus? How much Warner Brothers properties have we seen and went, I wonder if that's on HBO Max, you know?
They've got a ton of stuff, though. I mean, a ton.
They do, yeah, and it's gotten a lot better since it launched, but it's just like all your stuff needs to be there or not. Like, we're kind of beyond the point of like, well, some stuff is here and some's over here. Like, it's not 5 years ago anymore.
Well, their stuff's not spread out. It's either on there or it's not. And the flip of that is how many times have you gone on Netflix and been like, dude, I really just can't find anything to watch because you've watched what you wanted to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's a big part of why they started their own content creation is because you had to research everything. Any movie or show you wanted to watch, you had to look up to see if it was actually even on there, you know?
I think that's why I dislike Amazon Prime Video so much, because the way that their actual operating board is set up, you can't browse. There's no browsing involved. You watch one movie, the next time you go on there, all their advertising are the sequels to that and the other movies. And
there should not be products that you have to pay for on the same page as products you do not have to pay for.
Yes. And there shouldn't be products you have to pay for on a monthly service that you pay for. Like HBO Max. You pay for HBO Max, everything on there is included the same day as theater releases. You pay for Disney Plus, and then you get on there and you see an advertising for an upcoming film that you can pay an extra $30 to watch for a limited time. What?
Yeah.
What? Y'all are literally like the biggest titan of industry right now in the media world, and you're asking for more money from me?
Yep. Yeah, that didn't sit well.
This man. I will not watch Mulan until it's free. And I think we actually watched it in the same day.
Yeah, it's free now. It went free in December.
Yeah, when it did, I was there.
Yeah, my kids have watched it like 4 times. So.
It was so good.
Yeah. I liked it. I was a huge fan of the animated one, and so I was like, I don't know. I'm not really into them messing with that stuff, you know? And then I saw the trailers, and I was like, okay, they're going more like Chinese epic style. I'm into this. And then the movie, it hits and misses in different ways than the animated one, which to me has kind of been, how all of those have been. There's some things that the animated version does better, and there's some things I think the live action does a little bit better.
It was so good that it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
You guys are the first ones I heard say that. Me and my wife started it, but we stopped because we just didn't care. We loved the animated one so much.
My wife loved the one and was really hesitant because of the whole Mushu change up and the lack of songs. But just with the beautiful visuals and everything, and it told the same story, and it told the story properly. And she enjoyed it a lot.
Music though, I sing every song without them. Who cares?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what drove me crazy. Like I was singing the songs through every scene. As long as the background music was there and I could hear the melody, I'm like, oh yeah, I know.
Well, next time we watch it, I'll call you and just set the phone down in the corner so I can get the full experience.
Yeah.
Now, as far as cartoon,
whenever they run up the wall and whenever they like throw all the colored stuff, how could you not love that though? I don't know what people are tuning out to.
I don't know, ask him.
I don't think I got that far.
What? Oh my god, dude! They run up this wall. It is so cool the way the camera works.
And the Cartoon Network exclusives on HBO Max. That's one of the cool things about some of the people that HBO is partnering with. Like they have the entire list of all of Studio Ghibli's films, which my oldest daughter loves and watches any chance she gets over and over again. They have the entire library of Adult Swim stuff, and I have the absolute honor of binge watching the entire series of Rick and Morty for the first time.
Yep.
That show
I've never seen it.
I hadn't either. It was life changing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a certified physicist now after watching that show. But they have some really cool partners on there.
HBO has Cartoon Network exclusive.
I know they have the Adult Swim thing. I wasn't sure if they have the Cartoon Network side of it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Cartoon Network is owned by Warner Brothers. They have all of the Cartoon Network stuff. I'm pretty sure. I see stuff on there all the time that I didn't think we.
Puppy Dog Pals is on Disney Plus. Yeah, you just gotta follow Finn's finger. He's.
We got one of those Samsung Smart TVs.
We do too.
And that's one of the nicer things on there is like you can search for shows and stuff, and it'll like find it on whatever service it's on.
Yeah, we have. I have the speakers in here. We can just talk to the house, but generational gap there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Chromecast connected to every TV in this house. It's all set up on Google Home and stuff. And my wife like refuses to use any of it because she doesn't want to install apps on her phone. Like, why do you need an iPhone 13 then? Like, you have 12. Why are you worried about the next one if you don't even use what it can do?
They got the new Chromecast out, which I'm a really big fan of, because I think the biggest crutch for a lot of people, which I was just going to force myself to get past it, was the no remote thing. But with the new Google Chromecast Home or something like that, instead of it being black, it's white, and it hubs into all of your accounts. So all of your get populated on one actual home menu, and it has a remote. Yeah, so I do like that.
Yeah, it's more like the Fire Stick, which I have one of those on this TV because
those things are so glitchy.
Yeah, I like the Chromecast. I like the level of control I have on my phone. Like all the things for all the things I hate about Amazon Prime, their X-ray feature is absolutely awesome. Like you can look at your phone and it shows you like the IMDb information for who is on screen at the moment. So when you're watching a scene, if the person that's on the screen changes, like the stack moves, so the person you see is always at the top of that list. Like that feature is amazing. I love that, but I hate the way that their page is just full of stuff you have to pay for and things that you don't really want to watch, and you can't just like search and browse very easily. Yeah, see, people know X-ray is good. The whole rest of their service could go jump off a cliff.
Except the boys.
Yeah, they get some good exclusive content too. The Tick was great. I loved it.
I haven't watched that.
Dude, the Tick was hilarious. It was nowhere near as good as the Patrick Warburton live action though from like 98, 99.
I was gonna say 96, but yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that show is untouchable.
Yeah, and the cartoon was awesome too.
Oh yeah,
the
Midnight Bomber. What bombs at midnight? And Neil the dinosaur. Yeah, baby, burn.
Oh my god. Man, the Tick does not miss. Like, some of it's better than other stuff, but none of it's bad. It's always good.
One of the coolest characters. He's like, "Where are you from?" I don't know. I got on the bus. I got on the bus over there. Yeah, he has no origin, and he couldn't care less. Could not.
Yeah. He's like a message to fandom. Like, just stop caring so much and enjoy it.
Good stuff. All right, guys, we're getting toward the end, and it looks like I have a package that has been delivered since I've been on here. So I'm going to go get the crowbar and try to get it out of my mailbox.
They like to shove it in there so you can't get them out.
Well, in his defense, those mailers, they go in easy, but they don't come out easy because the lip of the mailbox rolls inward,
Yeah.
So, and dude, he'll put a Gemini in my mailbox, then he'll drive up in my yard to put the packages on my porch. Like, you just put it all on the porch.
Yeah.
Throw the mail up there too. Like, I needed if I'm going to order stuff on the volume that I do, especially nowadays with as hard as the Postal Service is having to work, I need to at least can invest, I don't know, $20-$30 in a bigger mailbox and put on the same post out there.
We have a package delivery box, like, mounted on our front porch. So, like, they could go up and, like, put in a code and it opens up. They put all.
How does he know the code?
You put it in the notes, the delivery notes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like, usually it says, like, special instructions or something, and we'll just put, like, hashtag whatever code,
That's pretty cool. I need one of those, but at the street.
Yeah. Yeah, it's handy.
Tyler, what do you got coming up on Whack?
We've got a lot coming up. We've got a live show today with Free Key Louie. And this Sunday, we've got the 24-hour charity live stream.
Explain.
We're going to be going 24 hours starting at midnight Eastern time, the 27th, and it's going to end the 28th at midnight, or I guess technically the 1st. And we're going to be raising money for the Starlight Foundation, which helps sick kids in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's really cool. What day at midnight does that start?
Saturday night at midnight. It's going to end Sunday night at midnight. And
oh, cool. You're just going to run right on through my show. I get it.
Yep. That's why we're doing it then. But we're hoping that when your show's over, you can come on. And you too. Whenever you want, Ryan, you need to come on too.
I can come on.
We want like everybody to come on. We'll be sending out the link too, like later in the week.
Yeah, I'll definitely I'll come on before then, after then, pop in and out. As long as it's a revolving door and you're cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be inviting like the whole comic community. We're gonna be doing all kinds of fun stuff, top 10s, just really anything and everything we can think of, and anything and everything anyone else can think of. We've got like
the raffles you'll be running and the giveaways that'll be included.
So we've got as of right now, I think we have 6 grand prizes, all original art.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I'm really jealous that I can't win any of them because it's all stuff I would love to win. So I can't go into details yet because we definitely don't know exactly what we're getting yet, but we know who we're getting stuff from.
That's really cool.
So it's going to be awesome. We're probably going to have over 20 giveaways. We'll probably have some auction items, and all that money is going to go to the charity. And then when you donate to the charity, you get entries in to win those grand prizes.
And where's the what are the methods of donation people are going to be able to do?
I'm pretty sure we're going to do a GoFundMe.
Okay.
We're still nailing that down too. We've like messaged them, but that's probably how we're going to do it.
Nice.
Yep.
That's really cool. This was definitely Lee's idea, wasn't it?
It actually was mostly my idea. It all started with the 1,500 subscriber giveaway that I was going to give away the Ultimate Fallout 4 if we hit it by the end of February.
Got some time left.
We still have time left, but it's not going to happen. So what we did, we decided we're going to do the 24-hour stream and make it for charity. So no matter what, this is a win-win situation. Like we're probably not going to hit 1,500. If we do, we're going to give it away. If we don't, we raise money for charity. Like no matter what, it's good.
24 hours straight. What platform are you using?
We're going to do StreamYard. You can do 12 hours at a time on YouTube. So we're going to do 2 12-hour streams.
Okay.
There's no limit? I did not know that.
Yep. There is no limit on StreamYard, but there's a 12-hour limit on YouTube.
Oh.
So why did y'all limit your videos at 4 hours previously?
Well, recorded, you have to. It's 4 hours.
Okay,
but
I didn't know that difference. I haven't thought about long yet.
Yep. Yeah, if you record a video, you can only record up to 4 hours unless you get like the maximum tier. But if you go live, there is no StreamYard limit.
I'm going to set an alarm to wake up like an hour or two early, so I'll be getting up at like 3:34 or something like that, maybe. And I'm going to jump in the link and wake y'all up. When y'all are both just sitting there like this on live camera.
I think we'll be pretty packed for the most part because we've got people in Australia too, so that's like middle of the day for them. I'm really excited to see how it goes. I think this is going to be
super awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, I would ask you, but neither one of us can compete with how cool that is.
I know, right?
So everybody, check out Whack Comics and be on the lookout.
Yeah, go subscribe, guys. We've got tons of stuff.
Charity and stuff.
That's really cool.
Me and Ryan, but I think Ryan's making a new comic book day video, so that's like almost as cool.
Dang.
I'm just messing with you.
Dang.
It's like the same thing.
Right?
No, this is seriously like I spent the last 2 hours making like top 10s and all this kind of stuff. It's a lot more work than I expected. But I'm
super
excited.
Just done all that work during the live. You're gonna have so much time to do.
Yeah, just give yourself like a 1 hour head start, so already have an hour worth of stuff, and then you can just make the rest as you go.
I don't want to be too unprepared. I think we're going to be unprepared enough, but we're trying to at least have some things in mind.
That's awesome. That really is awesome. That's really cool.
That for sure. I think.
Yeah, I just got some basic unboxing coming up. Hopefully that I'll drop tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Ryan do have something in the works that we'll probably announce Thursday at the earliest on both of our channels. We'll start announcing it because hopefully it'll be the hard part will be out of the way at that point, and we'll start announcing something that both of us are extremely excited about. That we've mentioned quietly amongst each other about it before, and then Sunday we were talking and we just bit the bullet, and it looks like it might pan out. So if it does, we're going to be able to announce after Wednesday.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear what that is.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Ryan's over there like this.
Oh man, dude. Oh, I'm so excited. It was in my video that dropped this morning, my clip show. I did a clip show episode in honor of WandaVision spoofing sitcoms. I thought I should do that too, and I don't have any time, so I'm just gonna do a clip show because that's easier.
I'll definitely have to watch that.
Well, I appreciate everybody jumping in and hanging out with us as well. Thank you guys for coming on, and go sub up New Guy and Whack Comics. Obviously, you got some cool stuff coming, and if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button on this video and smash the subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the 500 subscriber giveaway coming up, and hopefully I'll have something that make it a decent giveaway. But yeah, thank you guys, and I'm Mark, but we are Legion.